Hello, I will be explaining the specifics of a juvenile court liaison. During this video, I will explain what they do, where they work, different requirements, and salaries. What they do. Specifically, juvenile court liaisons work only with juveniles. A juvenile is an underage defendant, grades 5 to 12. From state to state, the juvenile age is different, from age 16 to age 18. It depends on the state. 3 things you can expect to do as a juvenile court liaison is be a communicator. You would be communicating between lawyers, police departments, social services workers, school districts, parents, and the defendants themselves. You can also expect to be reviewing paperwork and updating personal records. To go a little more in depth in the communication part of a juvenile court liaison, the courts are going to be giving you information. They're going to be giving you documents that need to be signed. They're going to be giving you different tasks that your juvenile needs to either get signed or get done. Your job is to schedule and to organize that all these tasks are being done. Everybody in this loop has all the information that they need. You're basically the overseer of this whole process between the courts and the juvenile and everybody in between. Pretty much your logistics and administration. You're going to work with children and families to coordinate counseling, legal assistance, and educational services. Where can they work? There's 3 different areas that you could work. You could either work with the federal government, you could work with private companies, or you could find yourself working in schools. If you work with the federal government, you'll either be working with the police station or the sheriff's office. It's important to remember that you are a non-sworn member. You're basically an administration person. Other job titles for the same job would be juvenile court officer, juvenile justice court liaison, family court liaison, and juvenile court liaison counselor. If you decide to go the route of being hired by a private company, basically, that private company contracts services to the federal government agencies. Something cool that I found while I was doing my research was a group called the Aggression Replacement Training. It's called ART. They're found in schools, and they help children learn how to handle peer pressure, anger control, and life skills. You could also find yourself as a juvenile court liaison working in schools, monitoring probation students and identified at-risk students. If you're working in the schools, you'd be monitoring school attendance, the academics of the students you are monitoring, and the discipline. Is this job for you? This job requires a lot of empathy and a lot of effort. You always need to remember you are part of a team trying to turn around young lives. Some different requirements. Some states only require a bachelor's degree. This bachelor's degree could be in counseling, criminal justice, sociology, or some related social sciences. Some other states or jobs or situations are going to require you to have a master's degree. You could get this master's degree in any of the above, or psychology, social work, and counseling. You need to be knowledgeable in evaluating behavioral and drug or alcohol dependency issues and making recommendations for treatment and rehabilitation. That's why there is some college and classes requirements. Some areas require a license requirement as a social worker or marriage and family therapist. Some areas only require specific classes for you to take mandated by the state. So pretty much, there isn't a, you have to be a licensed social worker, you have to be a licensed marriage and family. Some jobs you apply for are going to require it, some aren't. You don't have to have a master's degree. Some jobs are only going to require a bachelor's degree. To continue on with what I was just talking about, your salaries are going to vary on your educational, what you have for educational or certs. Now, I took the juvenile court officer for Iowa, but I also listed some other states so that we can all see how the salaries are going to vary from state to state, but they are all around the general same area. Let's look at Iowa. Start out at $47,000 a year. That would be like a bachelor's degree. Could go all the way up to $71,000 a year. That would be like a master's degree, and say you have a certificate in social work or marriage and family therapy. It all depends. These are the sources that I used for my research. If you want to look farther into this, you can use any of these.